There's ordinary rich, and then there's rich rich. Unfortunately, I was just ordinary rich. Or I guess you could say fortunately, if you're poor. Anyway, my mom and dad were corporate lawyers and I lived with them and my older sister Cindy, who was more gorgeous than the most attractive model you can think of.
Aubrey, don't worry. It's because you're still growing. You're only 15 and I'm 17. I'm sure that by the time you reach my age, you'll be a total hottie too.
She'd tried to convince me from time to time. But if you looked at both of us, you'd be convinced that one of us was adopted because we looked nothing alike. I was just plain and boring looking. No one ever gave me a second look. But with Cindy, they'd stop and stare. Some would even want to take pictures with her. I bet you want to know how that eventually changed for me, right? Well, keep watching. I went to this super expensive school, and even though my parents were rich, they still struggled to pay the fees. But my classmates? Remember what I said about
They think you're ugly or anything. It's just that you're turning 16, and that's a good time for a change.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I wasn't too sure about it at first, but I just went along with their idea. My birthday came and we left that morning to go to a special type of salon where they took care of every part of your body. Hair, nails, face, toes, everything. I spent about 5 hours there, and when they were done, I could barely recognize myself. I was a total babe. Not only did they give me a makeover, but they also explained to me how I could maintain what they'd done. But it got better. When I got
Don't you ever come at me like that!
Suddenly, Alvin flew on top of Theo and they started
Hey, I heard that Alvin took you to
There was a picture of Cindy kissing Alvin. I checked the date and it was just 3 days ago, while I was out with Theo. Just as I was about to knock on the bathroom door to throw the phone in her face to ask her what that was about, I saw a text come in from Theo.
Just got back from my date with your sister. She's not half as amazing as you, though. Would you still consider going out with me? I miss you so much, babe, and I can't stop thinking about the last time we made out.
It turns out that even though I was hot, Theo and Alvin were just using me to get to my sister. Apparently, they'd had crushes on her for like ever. And they had a bet between the two of them to see who could be her boyfriend. Instead of confronting my sister, I sent the picture and a screenshot of the text to myself and I posted it on all my social media pages. Now, everyone knew that Theo and Alvin were just jerks, and no girls wanted to date them anymore. My sister and I still aren't talking, and I don't know if things will ever be the same again. On the plus side, I'm still hot, so I will have my fair share of guys in the future. For now, I'm just focusing on my writing. I'm going to be hot, rich, and famous someday. There was a picture of Cindy kissing Alvin.
Hey, I heard that Alvin took you to France, but I have something much better. We're going to Thailand. I read one of your stories and I realized that you love learning about historical sites and that you're fascinated with other cultures.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Of course, Theo's parents also had their own private jet too, so getting there was no challenge.